Hi, this is Pam, Flower Patch Farmhouse, and today I am going to drill holes in these galvanized tubs, and I'm going to plant bulbs in them. I did not plant them earlier in the fall because we had such warm temperatures. They would have started to sprout. Even our nighttime temperatures were warm, too warm for this. And that was unusual, but it did happen. And then winter hit all of a sudden. We went from 70 degrees one week to snow, 3 feet nearly of snow the next. It has melted, and the temperatures are cold enough that the tulips and stuff will not sprout, and I can get them planted. This is an old tub that I had my fountain in, and it rusted through, so now it's going to make a planter. And these two are bushel basket containers, metal containers, that I got at the feed store, and they were about $18 a piece, so not a bad price for a container this size. And I'm going to drill holes in these, and then I'm going to plant bulbs in layers because I have several different kinds. I have anemones, I have crocus, I have alliums, and I have tulips. And I can't remember, I think I have more alliums and stuff in the refrigerator. I do not plant them out in my garden because the voles have been eating all of my bulbs, except the alliums. They don't like the alliums, but there you have it. So I'm going to drill the holes, and then we're going to get planting. As you can see here, I have some dirt already loaded in here, and I'm just going to level it out. This has a tiny bit of perlite. This is just some soil from my compost heap. Nothing spectacular. I think that's a little piece of an iris bulb, and I just have probably 3.5 inches deep. Now I'm going to put my tulips in first, and then I'm going to put the alliums. The tulips are supposed to be planted the deepest. I'm going to plant the tulips. They're going to be a little bit more than 6 inches, and all that will do, it won't hurt them. It will delay their coming up, which is a good thing, because then maybe they'll bloom with the alliums. So let me go get my scissors, and I will get those opened up. So what I have got here is a selection of tulips. There's 50 in here. One's called Passionelle, and the other is Matahari. And these are from Longfield Gardens, but I got them through Costco, and it was for 50 tulips. It was like $12.99, so a really good price. And I also got these Purple Sensation alliums. There's 30 in here, and this was also $12.99. So a really good price for a lot of bulbs. Now I'm going to first start with the tulips, and I'm going to put them down in here. These ones are the Matahari. It's about 20. So there'll be like 5 or 10 left over for the other container. Now I'm going to bring my soil over, and I'm just going to fill it up. There's still a little bit of debris in here. That's fine. I'm going to cover those bulbs. And then I'm going to get the alliums. And there's 30 total, so I'm going to count out 15 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I guess they're both in 15-inch bags, 15 in a bag. And we're going to do the same. You want to plant this side down. That is where the roots are. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill it up. The tulips and the alliums will bloom in here together and be really pretty. Okay, and then we'll go add a few more inches of soil. So now I'm going to fill it up a little bit more with some soil. Nothing fancy, ever. So put in a little more. Still a little snow, I had to dig it out. Am I getting my head right in the way? Sorry. Okay. Breaking up the big clumps. And now I'm going to put in the crocus. I don't know, do I want crocus or anemones? I'll go ahead and plant some crocus. There's 20 bulbs in here. So we'll go ahead and plant up 10 in this one and 10 in that one. Let's see. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, save these others for the other one. And I also am going to throw some anemones on there. These anemones might have gotten dried out, so we'll have to test and see. Now there's 21 in here, so one will get 10 and the other will get 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alrighty, these are supposed to get about the same amount. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Oh, 12. Okay, well, one more over there. Kind of sink them down with my finger, and I'll get us some more soil. Well, I'm just going to bury them a little bit. Well, I planted the other pot container the same as this one with layering the bulbs. First the tulips, then the alliums, then the little anemones and crocus, and then I topped it up. But still, the crocus and anemones are not very deep. They're only supposed to be 2 inches deep, which is about where they're at. So when I plant these pansies in here, I'm going to be rather careful. They're a little sad looking. They were sitting on my front porch and got a little too cold. But we're going to put these in here for a little bit of color while we wait for everything else. And I'll just trim them back a little bit and they'll be fine. And then they'll come forward in the spring. And they'll continue blooming even after the others, the crocus and the tulips, die back. And then I'll also put them out in my garden once this spot becomes too hot for them, or I'll move this entire container into a shady spot. And I'm just putting them right up front because, whoops, that one just broke off completely. So let's hope there's some root in there for one to come back from. You'd be surprised at how they will come back. I don't think there's any root on that. Nope, snapped it right off the top. Alrighty there. These will perk up and go ahead and continue blooming. They're real pretty. They're pink shades, a mix of pink shades of pansies. I planted some last year. They did beautifully in the spring. When it got too hot, I planted them under a tree and they bloomed the entire summer. So I got a lot of bang for my little $2 6-pack. So I'm going to do the other container that matches this one, and then I'm going to go out. I took the big galvanized tub out to my front garden I didn't want to fill it and then move it, so I moved it to the front garden where I'm going to have it, and then I'm going to go put all the tulips and alliums that I have left over into that out front. And then I will share with you this coming spring what this looks like and if it turned out. So here I wanted to show you some bulbs that were in a container out here, and they are already sprouting up. These are Iris reticulata Harmony, and usually they're not supposed to come up till around February, March if we don't have them covered with snow, but they're already peeking out, and that's most likely because we had such a warm fall. So hopefully I will cover them a little bit with some soil, and then they'll be fine and not finish coming up until it is time for them. And hopefully we'll maintain good temperatures that will keep them underground until they're supposed to be blooming. And I've really been happy with them. I don't know, I'll see if I can clip in a picture of them when they bloomed last spring. They were absolutely gorgeous, a bright blue, vibrant, and I had on top of them, once it was time for them to go dormant, I had planted coleus on top of them, a simple 6-pack that I got at the garden center. It just was gorgeous, but I had to keep it fairly wet, and I was afraid that those iris would rot in there, but they didn't. I'm pleasantly surprised. So that was a good combo in that container.